Welcome back to our channel. Are you struggling to get the views and engagement on Instagram, even though you're using all the hacks and tricks from the social media gurus and you're still getting low engagement and views? In this video, I'm going to be covering the top 3 mistakes that you might be making that means that your content is not catching your viewers' attention as they're scrolling on Instagram. Hi, my name is Joelle and I'm a UX designer and creator. And on this channel, I'll be sharing tips, tricks, and trends in the design industry to help you stand out even if you're not a graphic designer. Mistake number 1, your hook isn't working. Or worse, you don't even have a hook. Every single piece of content is made up of 2 things. This is the theme that you'll see throughout this video. The first part being a hook. Your content might be amazing, packed with education, packed with value that is gonna change someone's life. But if you're not catching their attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds on a video or an image, you're not gonna get them to see the rest of it and you aren't gonna change their life. Remember at the beginning of this video, I said a hook. Are you struggling to get the views and engagement on Instagram? This is something that might resonate with you and therefore hook you in. And notice how it wasn't over 30 seconds long. So a lot of mistakes I see on YouTube and Instagram as well is that the hook takes way too long to get to the point. By that time, I'm gone. I'm scrolling. I'm already swiping past. The other mistake with hooks is that there is no visual hook. Now, a hook is a hook, but there are different components to a hook. There's the textual hook, there's the visual hook, there's the audio hook. So we mentioned the audio hook where you're basically talking, but now there's also the visual hook, which is basically what's on screen. Do you have something that catches people's attention? Do you have something unexpected? You could have a hook that's a little bit controversial, gets people thinking, and people will be like, wait, what? And then they'll carry on watching. Creators do this in multiple different ways. You've all seen the thumbnails. I admit I've done this before as well. This is so that you have a psychological reaction to the face. Although this is kind of overused these days, so you might not need to do this in your content. Content creators showcase unexpected visuals. So something that is so out of this world or so detailed, so realistic, so amazing that it gets you to stop and look and examine. A really easy way to do this is with 3D to get you to stand out amongst the crowd of other content on the internet. If you look at a feed, which one stands out to you? Why not use 3D? Let me show you how to do this with Pixcap. So say you're designing a new post for your new perfume collection and it's a watery theme, so you're going to put it on an ocean background and it's nice and watercolor, but it still looks really plain. It looks like something you've just slapped together in 5 minutes. Well, no shade to that. But if you wanted to stand out on someone's feed when they're scrolling, you need to make it extra spicy. So because it's a water theme, I'm going to search through Pixcap's elements and find some water elements that's going to jazz it up a little bit. And what you can do is use the AI feature to make it even more surreal. So you can use this prompt that I'm showing you on the screen right now, and it's going to transform your product photo into something that is so visually stunning that people are going to have to stop and look. And you can see just how easy it is to use AI to bring your vision to life, especially if you have products or anything else that you want to showcase. The second mistake you might be making is that your design and your content does not resonate with your audience. Remember how I said that every good piece of content has 2 elements? Now, the second element is the content itself. You have a great visual hook that draws people into the video, but your content isn't entertaining. It's not resonating, it's not educational, then people aren't going to stay. They're going to be like, well, I got clickbaited into something and I didn't get what I wanted. And at the end of the day, your content is not about you. Your content is about your audience and what they can get from it. Now, there are several things you can use from a psychology lens to help people to resonate with your content more. So the first thing is really just tapping into your audience's needs. So what are they looking for? What are they here to find? What keywords have they been using to find your channel? What's your niche, right? Who are you trying to speak to? And then in that way, you can figure out what message your audience wants and then make that into something that resonates with them. The second thing you can do is use the familiarity bias. This is basically something in psychology that means that we are biased towards things that seem familiar to us, as the name suggests. So, if we see a face that we know, we're more likely to be friendly. We're more likely to open up. We're more likely to feel a connection. It's even the small things, like figuring out that a new colleague actually shares the same hobby as you. They also like to play table tennis. As humans, we are biased towards these things, and you can use this to your advantage. Not in a bad way, but just to help people to feel like they resonate with your content. One thing that is pretty easy to do in your marketing materials or around seasonal events is to use familiar faces. Why do memes do so well? It's because they have famous people on them and everyone instantly recognizes from their favorite show. The same thing applies to cartoon characters. So you can use this to be like, 3 marketing tips you can learn from Santa Claus, or 3 marketing tips you can learn from Mickey Mouse. Like, it's things like that get people thinking like, oh, what does Mickey Mouse, what does Santa Claus have to do with marketing? And they might be able to draw conclusions, but they're probably interested to know what you're going to say about that. Again, this is so easy to do in Pixcap. All you need to do is find a character, play around with it. There are a ton of templates that you can play around with. One for every season, one for every single one of your marketing needs, and see what you end up with. And the third mistake you might be making is not using the psychology of color. Color and contrast have long been a way to catch viewers' attention. Like, even right now, I'm wearing light colors, my background is kind of dark, so I immediately contrast from the background. But also, colors can be used to create a sense of familiarity. They can help your brand be recognized if you consistently show the same colors in your videos, or in your text colors, or in your background. Creators use this trick as well. So for the first trick I mentioned about contrast, you can see these thumbnails here have a lot of contrast, and immediately your eye is drawn to it and you can't help but just look. And whilst they have your attention, there's also those other hooks that I mentioned, either A, textual, or B, a unexpected visual. You can apply these concepts into your Instagram posts. So if you look at your feed, and there is something that you really want to highlight, look at the colors that are present on your feed right now. What colors contrast with those colors? And therefore you can use that color more dominantly in the post that you want to stand out. For example, it's a launch post. You want people's eye to be drawn to that post. So a super easy way you can do this is go online and search for color theory wheel. It's great because you can enter the base color and you can select from the different color concepts. So complementary, analogous, triadic, and all the rest of it. And you can play around and see what works. Let's go into Pixcap and do an example. So if you're trying to advertise an alternative for coffee, coffee is brown, but doesn't mean the entire advert, the entire thing has to be brown. It means that everything is blending together. There's no contrast, my eye's gonna skip over everything. So again, I'm gonna go into the color theory wheel and select colors that go with each other, but also contrast well. But if you're not feeling like doing that, Pixcap actually suggests great color combinations as well. You can go through all the color schemes and pick one that goes with the vibe that you're going for. All of these tips you can apply to your reels, stories, and posts, which we have demonstrated in this video. You can do the same by going on to pixcap.com and searching the huge library of different elements, scenes, and templates that you can easily customize to make your content stand out with 3D amongst a sea of other content out there. Hopefully, you now have some practical tips to up your Insta game, so if you have any questions about Pixcap or 3D, let us know in the comments and we'll make a video about it. See you next time. Bye!